How's it going, Talk For Us TV? My name is Jack and welcome to my first ever Starting 11 preview video on the channel. Dan did ask if I was interested in doing it and I thought, yeah, why not? You know, just thought it would be quite a fun thing to do, see if I can get it right. I usually actually try and predict the Starting 11 in my preview videos, but, you know, I thought I'd do a dedicated video for it here. Obviously, it is the Bournemouth game, Saturday lunchtime at the City Ground. So, yeah, I think it'll be quite a similar starting 11 to the one we did see against Wycombe. In terms of, obviously, the back five, back four and the goalkeeper, I think Samba will definitely be in goal. You know, there's no real reason to drop him. Jordan Smith played in the Cup, didn't really cover himself in too much glory. I thought he played all right, but, yeah, wasn't great, obviously, conceding 5. And then I think it's Abdoulaye Diallo. He's nowhere. I don't think he's even registered, so, yeah, definitely be Samba. Back four, I think, will be pretty much the same. I think we'll have Christie at right back, the two centre-backs being Joe Worrell and Tobias Figueiredo. I think that'll probably be the two that will play together. They look pretty good against Wycombe, putting a good shift together, and they played really well last season together, so maybe Houghton's go with a bit of, they sort of know each other, they've got experience of playing with each other, so we'll stick with them for the time being. And then at left back, I'm not sure whether Ribeiro will walk back into the side. Obviously, it's been a couple of games now since his red card. It was one in the FA Cup. I don't know if that game counts, but then we've definitely had 3 league games in between that. You know, we've had we had Barnsley, Coventry and Wycombe. So he could play in this one if Houghton wanted him to. I wouldn't be against playing Bong. Got an assist for Glenn Murray. And I think, yeah, you know, he's not looked too bad, to be honest. And he's someone that Chris Houghton trusts. So I don't see why he wouldn't play. In terms of the two in front of the defence, it's got to be the same for me. It's got to be Garner and it's got to be Cafu. I think they both had a really good game, and Garner, we've definitely got to try and get him on loan for another season. He looks like an absolutely fantastic talent and someone that Manchester United might really be, you know, building the side around in 5 or so years' time. I think he's that good. A lot of Manchester City fans are singing his praises and are really saying that he is something special from what they've seen of him in like the academy or anything like that. So yeah, I think it'll be really important to keep him in the side. And if we drop him, that's absolutely ridiculous. He's absolutely unbelievable. The next to him, I don't know. Do we play? I'm just thinking now. Do we play Cafu, or do we play somebody like, I don't know if Colback's got enough in him to play a full 90? I'm just thinking, is that midfield a bit too passive, a bit too sort of like to get on the ball instead of doing the dirty work? Maybe we'll play Colback. I don't know. It's difficult. I think maybe if we start with Cafu, see how things are going, and maybe we could bring on Colback instead. But yeah, I'd say Garner and Colback, not Garner and Colback, sorry, Garner and Cafu. And then if Cafu or Garner seems to be struggling, then maybe bring on a bit of more defensive midfieldness in Jack Colback. Now, the 3 in behind the striker, I think definitely Kuvinovic in that number 10 role. I think he's been really, really good since he's come in. 3 really good performances, and I think, you know, we've got to keep playing these players who are in form. Obviously, we do have other players who can play in that position, but I think out of the ones that we've got, he's definitely the best. Obviously, we've got Cafu. We could push him forward and maybe play Colback for the full 90, but I don't really think Colback's got enough in the tank to play a full 90. So I think we do kind of need to play Kuvinovic in behind the striker. We also have Freeman. I don't really want Freeman to start. Sort of gives away who I'm going to play on the left a little bit. I don't think he should play. I don't know. He looked good when he played. You know, against probably Bristol City was the one game he looked good in. Scored an absolute screamer in that one, but he just looks a bit off the pace, and I don't think he really should start in this one. For me, I think it'll probably be Lolly. I liked him when he came off the bench, got an assist and looked lively, had a couple of, you know, he made the defence think a little once or twice and got involved. So yeah, I definitely think he should start. I think he's been a bit poor this season. Obviously, we haven't really seen, for even last season, regardless of how good we were, we didn't really see Joe Lolly at his best. There were sparks. You look at Luton at home; it was really one of Joe Lolly's best performances in a Forest shirt. But before that, the season before that, he was arguably the best player we had. You know, he was involved in that 5-5 against Aston Villa really heavily. Another good game he had last season actually was Birmingham at home. He loves the game against Birmingham at home, and played really well in that one. But I think if we can play him out wide, obviously you've got to remember he's played with broken toes and shin splints, so he's not really been able to play. Like he's not had the full range of his ability to show over the last 2 seasons with the injuries, so you can kind of let him off a little bit there. But I do think, given the time he had against Wickham, he should start over on that left-hand side. On the right-hand side, the man who did get our 3rd goal against Coventry, against Wickham, should definitely be anti-knockout for me. I think he was exceptional. His best performance in a Forest shirt by far. You look at the Norwich game when he came off the bench, he lit that game up. But I think for this one, he definitely deserves to start. I think he had a really, really good game. If he could get on the score sheet again, that would be absolutely fabulous. And then up front, it's a bit tricky. Obviously, you look at last game and you think definitely Murray. But I don't know whether Murray is able to play every single game, week in, week out, or whether, due to him being 37, whether he'll have to be played one game and then rest the game and then play another game. He did play, 70 minutes against Wickham, so it could be a difficult one. I would like to see him start. I'd really like to see him start. 2 goals in his last game. It would be unfair not to start him. I think I will start him definitely, because we can bring on Taylor and Graben, but it's really down to Houghton whether he thinks that Murray has it in the tank to play pretty much two games within obviously 7 days, but whether he'll be able to play a full duration almost of 2 games, I'm not too sure. For me, I would start him and maybe bring on Taylor a bit earlier. Someone who, depending on how the games go, whether they need someone to stretch a defence, then maybe bring on a Taylor a bit earlier. But yeah, for me, I think that'll be the start 11. So I'll run through it quickly before I end the video. So I think it'll be Samba, Christie, Worrell, Figueiredo, Gaitan Bong. I think it'll be Cafu and Garner with Knockaert, Krivinovic and Lolly in behind Glenn Murray. So yeah, if you did want to know a bit more of my thoughts about what I think the score will be, my thoughts on Bournemouth, my thoughts on Forest, then check out my preview video. But yeah, that's all from me for this one. If you did enjoy, like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and come on, you Reds.